They find the solution to the problem once a light bulb goes off in the head. So if you find a solution to a problem, you have an idea to fix the problem. It's crazy when you got a bunch of light bulbs going off, and then you got 6, 7 light bulbs, and they all want their ideas to take precedence over the other one's light, not knowing that all of their light bulbs are nothing more than puzzle pieces to put together for the bigger instrument that all of the light bulbs are supposed to play a part in make, but they'll fight each other. Why? Because they've been manipulated in this day and time to do so, to think that my idea is a little bit better than yours or yours is better than mine. No, it ain't about neither one of ours being better. The bee has no idea how good its honey is. They don't eat it. So a being that has a bright light really has no idea how good his brilliance is. You get trapped up by the spiders, which are your business moguls, people that can invest in your ideas that don't have much of their own. They'll invest in yours because you don't know how your honey tastes. You out there producing brilliance on a regular basis for a dollar amount when your brilliance was actually the solution to fix a nation of problems, but you sold your solution. Now they own it. They call it a patent. They take your light from you in the patent office. So as light beings here on this planet, as ethereal beings, right? Because your light slows down into ether, the vibration of it. Now you have all these brilliant solar ideas, which are solutions to problems as providers. And you got Caucasians or Hindus or Asians or any other business type who will come upon you, take your idea and pay you $1 million for it. And there you think that that's what your idea is worth. You think it's worth money. And then you got preachers in the pulpit going, "We're saying for man to profit the whole world and lose his soul." And they dumbasses is up there doing the same thing. Stealing people's light, making sure your light stays dim and it doesn't get brighter than theirs. That's what pastors do. They're warlocks. Doctors do the same thing. They shoot their spells at you and they won't allow you to use your own reasoning to heal yourself. Once you enter into the White Castle called the hospital, Casablanca, that's where you go into, Casablanca. What's in the basement of Casablanca? The morgue, a bunch of dead bodies. People go to the hospital to die. So why are we giving birth in hospital? It's a trick. Somebody got you thinking in your idealism, your creative mind with your light, because you've become a dimwit over time, meaning you're dim. You don't have any brilliant ideas no more. You don't know how to solve things. You don't know how to make a way out of no way no more because you took that ability and gave it to Jesus, not knowing that Jesus is nothing more than conscious gases. The acknowledgement of ethers, 6 of them to be exact, not even 9. So calling out to those gases aren't helping you. They're not going to help you come up with new ideas. You got to go to the source to get new ideas. The source for all energy here on the planet is the sun. And we always knew this. So back in ancient Kemet, we had plenty of brilliant ideas. And we shared those ideas. The temples. I was on the class with me last night, but I explained to you why we didn't build churches. The word church backwards is crutch. Church is for lame people who can't stand on their own 2. Temples are for monumental thinkers to group together under one building structure as the building represents the brain itself. We all go inside the brain called the temple, and then we come out with brilliant ideas. As master scribes from that time period, as an ancient, we remember what we used to do. We didn't go in there worshiping and praying. If we went in there and did any meditating, it was to consult the Shil Neteru, because we are the Neteru that speak for the Shil Neteru. Here, that's the ethers I'm talking about, the air. So when you get a brilliant idea, sometimes it's coming straight from the Neteru, the dimension of volume and space, the abode of Malakut. So it goes into you, gives you a brilliant idea, and they give you instructions through these ideas on how to build things and craft things. Then you have to become a craftsman in order to get them done. So being a craftsman, being a being of the craft, means I have a craft that's natural. It's one of my talents. Okay, so you are a craft as long as you have that craft. If you don't have a craft, that means you're a starship idling. Somebody else is using your starship because you're not using your talent. You're not using your craft here. Craft is not just associated to spaceships, it's associated to magic as well, because they understand what the craft is all about. Are you crafty? Can you craft things? Are you a craftsman? How is your craftsmanship? Do you have your tool belt or your apron? You can't work without your tools. And for a master scribe, one of my best tools is the pen or the pencil, see? Or a chisel and a hammer. I can craft symbols. And I can teach you how to do it because it's part of my craft. As a craft that came here from Nibiru. I explained last night, Nibiru is spelled N-I, which is the two words, N and I. Then you have the letters B and I, which is two more words, B and I. And then there's two more words, R and U, in the form of letters. Don't let the letters fool you. They're words themselves. Every word you see in the English language is a spell to be broken down. Why? Because there's 5 dead languages in it, which means English is the language of the dead. So if you speak it, you speak a dead language. It takes beings like us to come in to revive you. And what I mean is a funerary deity. I'm not the breath of Sobek for nothing. I have the ability to get the dead to hear and see. So if you pay attention to these spells I'm breaking, you'll be out there in the street tomorrow breaking the same spells on a regular basis. And it's not that hard to understand the concept of what I'm doing. But the idea didn't come from me, it came through me as a vessel. For who? The Shil Neteru. I'm a Neteru myself, in a body. The body is a ship. You all, if you have nappy woolly hair on this phone, you are Neters. There's some of us that are more ancient than others. Master teacher was called the Zodok. I'm a Zodok. Look at the word Zodok backwards. Read it from right to left. It's codex. X and Z are interchangeable. So the master teacher was an ancient manuscript in a body, delivering a message. I have an ancient manuscript to deliver. That's why I'm teaching Circumology in this day and time, to give all of our family members that are part of the tree of life their continuance. You need to continue where all these other beings die out. Man is dead. If you're a nappy woolly haired nigga on this phone, you are not a man. They got you living like a man, being like a man, having an experience as a man, but you're not a man. Souls are not men. Make no mistake about that. This is why they got to take everything from you to sustain their lives here. They can't come up with anything new because they're not souls. And the only thing new comes from the sun. Nothing new is under the sun. Only new things come from the sun. And you have to be a son of the sun for that new information to come through. It comes through the mind first, through the gateway chakra called the crown chakra. It opens up and receives messages in the form of light. That light penetrates your whole body. Light is constantly passing through you. How many shadows do you replicate when you're walking at night? How many shadows? Have any of you ever counted your shadow? And I can tell you the answer, but I'm interested in hearing. Have you ever counted how many shadows pop up when you're standing in light? Anybody?
Hey, sometimes I see 4.
Okay. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, I see 4 as well.
Okay. Are you outside or inside the house?
That's when I'm outside walking in the sun, and well, it ain't the sun, it's in the middle of the night. It's like the moon casts like a shadow, and I can see like sometimes I see like 2 and 4. It's always an even number.
Now, I'm only saying that to say there's no coincidence that it's 4. There's no coincidence that if the light is shining directly above you, you'll see 6 images of yourself. 6. We're dealing with stars. 4-point star, 6-point star, 5-point star. Do you think you have 5 fingers and 5 toes on this planet for no reason? It's because this planet is ruled by the 5-point star gate, which is the woman. You go to Mars, Mars is not ruled by feminine energy. It's ruled by masculine energy. The beings have 6 fingers and 6 toes. Most of the beings that come from 6 sun star constellations have 6 toes and 6 fingers. 6 is not a bad number. The 6-pointed star represents the solar disk. It represents Orion. Sun's in that star constellation. That's why it has 6 points to it. So these symbols, and the reason why your shadow is casting 6 lights, because each shadow is a light. It's part of your glow. It just appears as black. like black soot, but showing you your image. You are not one being. You can call yourself we every day, all day, and you'd be correct. Me is we. Turn the M upside down, you'll see it. So we are beings from the ancients. We are the Amen. We are the ones that witnessed the beginning. Not our beginning, but theirs and every other one that came after that, because we were here. We helped oversee these beginnings, as we will help oversee this new one coming after the age of man is over. Do you know how many of these races and species of beings we had to watch die off? Do you know how many of them we was told not to interfere with? Direct galactic violations got us under the oppression we're under. Most people don't understand that. We like to take pieces of the puzzle off the puzzle, and then we put them in our pocket and take that home, and we'll look at that puzzle piece and study it for a year. Just one puzzle piece, and think we got it all figured out. When I'm explaining to you the reason why the adversary we have as a Caucasoid is here is because we interfered. If we weren't interfering, then they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't even be intelligent enough to do nothing to you. Now they're making it to where you can't be intelligent enough to do anything back to them. That's the game, baby. You got to be intelligent, not smart. You have to be intelligent. The genes that come in to tell all others which way to go, what to do, how it's supposed to be done about the new. We do this stuff over and over and over and over. And it's been cycles upon cycles where we stayed right here watching these beings evolve, meaning devolve, meaning become evil and more evil. Why? Because the more they evolve, the more they become more carnal. They're losing more of themselves. They're not supposed to stay in that state of condition, but they refuse to mix back in with us so that we can fix it. Why? Because they don't want us to be smart enough to know we can fix it. We started it. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. The first ones are going to be the last ones to rule. The last ones to pop up in the genetic line or bloodline will be the first ones to die off. Caucasoids are not supposed to live past 400 years as a species, not a race. Get that race thing out of your mind. They're the ones racing. They're not racing against you. They're racing against time. They're racing against science. They're racing against the sun. And then they pull you into the race and you wonder why you couldn't win. It ain't your goddamn race. Black people have to stay out of Caucasoids' race. You get out of their way, let them steamroll each other, let them kill each other, let them make vaccines for each other. When they talking on the news, they ain't talking to your black ass. Tell your black mama and daddy they not talking to you. We're nectars. We are natural beings. We do not lean on man's science. We lean on our science, the science of nature. We told everybody, Dr. Sebi told everybody, Dr. Layla Africa told everybody, Queen Afua, Jewel Pukrum, a bunch of healers we got out here still today, still curing and healing all of the ignorant sheep, because the sheep forgot when Dr. Sebi said fast, fast, fast. That means to speed up. If you want to vibrate faster, stop eating. On an empty stomach, your alertness would be that of a squirrel or a rabbit. Trust me, you'll be aware of everything. You will be able to smell food, fruit, salads, things like this. You'll be able to smell them. And you'll wonder why that rabbits and dogs and things find their food so easy, because their sense of smell is not blocked. It's not blocked by parasites and things that think for you, that latch onto your nervous system and tell you what to eat all day, every day when you have your cravings. Crave ain't nothing but the word grave. That's all it is. Cravings, gravings. That's it. Crave sack is for zombies. If you're eating all day, you're a beast. They made us that because they made us stupid. They made us dumbass cattle. So we run around thinking like cattle. We don't think like superior minds or elves or gods anymore, which is why the master teacher came and broke those doors down, unlocked them, gave you the keys to navigate your way on a map, to navigate, made you gods again. Most people didn't accept it because they think God is supposed to be invincible. You are invincible. You just want to be invincible all by your stinking self. That's the problem with niggas. Don't you know you're invincible because we are as a whole? What's the saying goes, Bebe's kids? We don't die, we multiply. That's true.
Fact.
They can't kill us. They can't kill us. And Bebe is Baba, meaning soul, 2 times. A double portion of soul. I got a solar system that I'm operating on the outside of me and one on the inside of me. That's Bebe right there, Baba. Soul, the Ba. Without the Ba, wouldn't be no letter B and wouldn't be no bird word. As in the bird is the word. Back in the Heliopolis, we was teaching this stuff on how to heal because all of the sick was coming to the West to get healed. Most of the brilliant ideas in ancient Kemet came from the East. Most of our geniuses was Southeast, where the darker people were, or should we call that North? Because we know in Egypt, everything was reversed for us. We didn't speak with vowels, we spoke the consonants, and the vowels was in the pronunciation of the consonant. We didn't need vowels. Vowels came in and tricked everybody. Without vowels in a word cannot be tricked. You can't trick me. That's why we didn't put them in. It was intentional. It wasn't because we were dumb and didn't know about vowels. That's what they'll lead you to believe. Oh, well, you know, they just didn't have the right expression for the shut up, nigga. Shut up. All these niggas running around here I can read hieroglyphs. Excuse me? Who can't read them? It's obvious what they say. They want you to think that it takes a tongue. We visually read symbols. You don't have to speak to read. Who's telling us this? You do not have to talk to read or to understand something.
Hey,
I just hope they caught it.
You said that explosion went off in my mind. Like, you don't have to speak to read. Go ahead.
You don't. You can go right in the walls, in the ancient pyramids that we built, and your vibe, right? There'll be a voice in your head telling you what it is. Just off of you thinking about it, because your DNA is wired to remember it. It's configured, pre-encoded. They can't stop that. Why you think they don't want us going over there? Why do you think the Arabs is over there posing as us and will sit down